It's not this. Even with 4.7 billion views.
What was that? What was that song called? I
This
can't
one,
read it. Yeah.
Gangnam Style.
But what does that even mean?
Gangnam is a city in Korea somewhere, and it's like I don't know if it's like a Beverly Hills or a wannabe Beverly Hills type of thing, or
Oh,
something like that.
no clue.
Yeah, me either. But
Super catchy.
So what was the
What's
number
that?
one?
Ed Sheeran has 2 or 3 in the top 10.
Pretty good for Ginger.
Baby Shark Dance. Pink Fong Kids' song.
Oh man.
I just
Oh.
watched that all the time.
12.13 billion. I mean, we're going
Kick
to
me
be
in
on
the
here
teeth.
pretty soon. We're right below this, right?
Kick me in the teeth if I have to listen to that song one more time.
Despacito. Johnny Johnny Yes Papa. Okay. All right. The Bath Song. I guess what it is people probably put these songs on that their kids like and just let them play over and over and over.
Yeah.
We might have done that. Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. I have no idea what that is. See You Again by Wiz Khalifa. Okay.
I know what my shape is. It's round.
My shape is near pear.
Hey Dan, what's that 2022 top producer tag? I've been seeing that around. What's that supposed to be about?
Oh, this. I sold a certain amount of real estate last year, so you get this top producer, and then you're in the circle of excellence, and then there's different levels like silver, gold, diamond. I did 7.8 million or something, so I did 7.8 million. So I'm like silver or gold, and then you've got the people that have, especially the people that have big teams or teams that do a lot of production, get way up at the top. I mean, you see 56, 100. Bachelor's got 128 million or something. But they've got teams that have been established for a long
Sure.
time. They've got their niche. So.
And they only deal with luxury homes, I believe, right?
Well, I don't want to give him too much airtime. I like him, but he does. He'll just like anybody. He'll sell whatever.
Okay.
But that's his niche, definitely there. We have been in contract together on a couple of things, and didn't end up happening. But yeah, he's good. He's great. I mean, people love him. He drives a Bentley.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind having a Bentley. Although I think I would probably I'd probably just have a big GMC Denali truck or something.
The Denali Ultimate package.
Ooh, I haven't heard of the Ultimate.
Yeah, it's got speakers in the headrest. It's got this different interior. It's only $100,000.
That's pretty cool. But if I had to have a car, what would you guys have? If money was no object and you could just money no object, boom, 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 cash in the zillions. Dude, I love these memes. What would you get, Dan? What would you get?
I'd have a big truck.
What kind though?
I don't know. Probably a GMC, like you said. That's more my style. It's I've had small cars in the past, and they're not easy to get in and out of, so I'd rather not.
Yeah, I don't think any of us three are small people. I don't think any of us is overweight or anything. Just we're large framed people. It's hard to get into a car.
Yeah.
I bought a Lexus a long time ago. I ended up giving it to my wife to drive because I just couldn't get in and out of it.
Yeah, I had an Acura. I forget what it was. It was super fast, but I just couldn't get in and out of it. I mean, I could. It was just way more difficult than it is to get into my truck.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about you, Shaun? You've got a pretty cool car now.
I just keep the car I have personally.
Yeah,
but I do like the new Genesis. They have like automatic door locks, and they have like a perfume dispenser that you can load up, and then it gives you like aromas while you're driving and stuff. I'm like, wait, it's way too fancy for me. The
Got a
G90,
built- got a built-in vape.
yeah, so it's like built-in
Built-in.
deodorant. Built-in deodorant. That's the SUV, but this one's the sedan. But they have all-wheel drive now. I have rear-wheel drive, so it's not really fun in the snow. But
you've
but it's
also
kind of
got
fun in the snow. You know what I mean?
a 5.7 liter, right?
It's a 5.0, yeah,
5.0.
429 horsepower, something like that.
This
It's great during
morning,
the snow and the ice and stuff. It's great for traction. So
yeah, look at
it's fun.
this.
Yeah,
This
these
is-
things.
It's very
They
here. That
auto
last
door
picture,
locks,
very Maybach looking.
massaging seats, reclining seats in the rear. You have your own
Starting at
thing.
88.4. My man,
Yeah.
that's
All-wheel drive and the turbo motor is like 98 MSRP, 98,000 for a Hyundai. Well, I mean Genesis. It's Hyundai anyway.
well, yeah, but then you've got like the Lamborghini is really an Audi. You know, you've got who is the Lexus is a Toyota. You know, they're built on the same frames. They have almost all the same.
Land Rovers are
parts.
Fords.
Who is it?
Land Rovers are Fords, right?
I don't know who owns Land Rover.
Lincolns
but I
are
think
Fords.
Land Rover, Jaguar, Ford. Is that how it goes?
I mean, they say such a similar platform. I mean, that's just the way it goes. If you want like an elite car, I mean, I guess, I mean, someone owns Bentley too. Is it like
Mercedes?
Was it Mercedes or Bentley or Volkswagen?
Mercedes bought
Like
Maybach. Mercedes bought Maybach.
Maybach.
Who owns Bentley Motors?
Because I think they're underneath someone. They're nice
Volkswagen.
cars though. I've been in those.
Volkswagen. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really nice. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. Have you guys heard of this Chat GPT thing?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's writing essays for college students right now.
I mean, I did a search. I did a search on it yesterday where
You shared it with me.
where I said I forgot what I asked it. I could probably find it.
Like, give me like a brief, a post or a synopsis of like the current mortgage industry or mortgage rates or something.
Oh, I said write me because people said you can use it to write you blog posts. So I said write me a blog post about the current state of mortgage lending in America, and it get up.
Yeah, that's mortgage lending right there.
Let's see. There we go.
Only
In
when it's
America.
good. Yeah. Maybe that's my mortgage lending.
It came up with talking points from like 2 years ago. It was talking about how the rates were 2% and all this, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. 15 years were in the twos, 30 years were in the threes, and I was like, dude, I wish they were, but they are not.
So I'm going to ask it, who owns Bentley Motors? Dude, it's like, boom, instant. And then it gives you a bunch of information. It's kind of scary. I signed up for the Google Bard, which is the same thing. So
I shared the response to the team, and they were like, well, I guess our jobs are safe for a little longer.
Totally. Give me a question to ask, maybe something about insurance that you could either confirm or refute.
Put me on the spot. Let me think.
Think about it.
What is the current state of insurance in California right now? Homeowner insurance in California.
I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Homeowners. They don't have access to real-time information or data. Yeah, right. California is prone to national disasters such as wildfires. I love how the memes just start coming up. In response to the challenges of obtaining homeowners insurance, the California state government has taken steps to provide assistance to homeowners. The California Fair Access to Insurance Requirements Plan provides a basic insurance policy for homeowners who are unable to obtain coverage in the private market. So that's kind of like Obamacare for insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. Although they still have their regulations as well. So if a home is, not to their standards, there's just no hope at all. If trees can't be too close to it, there's a lot of things that they still look at.
Right, right. Tell me about. Let me just. Who invented the first computer mouse? 1963. Have you seen it? It's like a little cardboard box with one big button on it. It's just crazy how fast this thing comes up with information.
Yeah, I've seen some people ask about like explaining the difference between this culture and this culture,
Right.
and the similarities and differences or whatever it may be. I mean, it was pretty amazing. Like, and the guy's like, "This is exactly a fact." Like, all the facts that they put into it were
and it happens instantly.
Yeah, wrote like 1,000 words and
right. And I'm asking it for stupid stuff like
yeah.
What are the lyrics to?
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, that's good.
Is this a paid site?
I think you just sign up for it, but do they have a?
Yeah, you just go to chatgpt.com and you got to fill out a little profile type thing. There's a few different companies that have it that provide it, but this is the one I'd heard of. I looked for the Google one first, and it just it said that it's not quite ready. I'll put you on the list. Okay.
I mean, a lot of mortgage companies have AI already built into a lot of their software. So
right. I think it's for a couple of years that's kind of been happening. I don't know a ton about it. I know that. I don't know a ton about it. All right.
I mean, they're looking at software where people fill in an application. The software reads the application, and then once you're done with the application, uploads all the documentation you're going to need for an approval. I mean,
that's interesting.
But the tendencies right now are that they over require or over request for things that aren't necessary. It just doesn't know.
So then you still require somebody to go over it and go, no, you don't actually.
Right. And do you really want someone to like fill out an application and then be tasked with like 50 or 70 different things that they need to do? Like, probably not. Probably not the best customer service experience right there. So they have to figure out a way to pull it back and reel it back or fine tune it, kind of thing. So it's like something that's always been in the talks, but it's never been laid out, in full. What do they call that? Like beta testing?
Yeah, well, and maybe it has. I think too, though, with things like this, you just can't ever escape how good the human eye is. Not the eye, but our minds. Like the way we think about things objectively, and like that. They're not the same.
Another thing I saw about technology that's scary. Some guy posted on the Eagle Community webpage for Facebook page about measuring his yard in his backyard for fertilizer. So he pulls his house up on Google Maps. I mean, you can see like almost blades of grass. You can see where his dog probably pees. You can see that he probably has a female dog because it's burning the grass, right? Like, you can pull so much detail out of this. And he's just talking about, being able to measure your backyard. And I'm like, it's just scary that has that much detail, right?
I'm just picking a random house here, but that California is using that or had said that they were using it to measure roofs so that they could tax based on the amount of rainfall that gets caught or blocked by the house or something like that. So they're using this data against their taxpayers. Insanity, if you ask me.
This is just another reason to move.
Not surprising at all. One more thing.
Right. So when you download Google Earth,
Yeah.
there's a lot more functionality where you can do measurements of properties and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure Dan has used this for insurance, right? Like Googling in and seeing if there's any overhanging trees for roofs or whatever,
Yeah, mainly I'll
brush
use
lines.
it to measure the distance from the house to brush.
Mhm.
Like up in
But
the
aren't
hills.
the pictures usually a year or more old?
Yeah, you can still measure, the closest hazard, and that to me, I use that because some of the insurance companies, will go out there and inspect the property and then cancel it afterwards because their system doesn't properly calculate it. And I don't like issues after the fact.
So here's Google Earth. So I love this. I go to a meeting called Coffee with the Mayor every week, where here in Eagle, Idaho, we can sit and have a public audience with the mayor and ask him questions. And oftentimes he'll bring this up, which is really funny because Stephen Gerber, a former mayor, is always in attendance as well. So that's kind of cool. I say that because this is Gerber Park. Anyway, he uses this. You can go back and forth in time and show what any given area looked like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, etc. And you can
Mhm.
see how Eagle started out like this and just kind of grew. I'm sure
Sure.
you can do that with, or that it was this big and it was all farms.
Density,
So, um, so I guess that's good and bad because we like our small town feel here. We've got 33,000 people. It's not necessarily small. It's not huge by any stretch of the
No.
imagination. I came from Huntington Beach, which was about 200,000 people. What was Irvine, man? Irvine has
Oh man, I don't even know. When I grew up, there was orange groves and there was cornfields, and
309,000 people in 21.
and it was probably less than a third of that when I was there.
So looks like in the last 4 weeks, an Eagle, median list price $799.
Yeah, I got an email saying the average sold price in Eagle was 818,000 or something like that.
In that month or what?
Yeah, in February.
Let's go. So Dan lives in Meridian, Idaho. It's no filters, so it's 574.9. Now, granted, it's a much larger city. It has some areas that are also very old, so your average is going to be drastically different.
Let me see if I can find it.
574. Let's see. New listings in the last 4 weeks, 104. Total homes for sale, 149. One condo, 10 townhomes. Price changes, 103. I would imagine that most of those are price drops. People not getting what they want. Got to lower the price a little bit. It's patience versus price.
So the email I got.
For $1 million. What's that?
Going back to the Eagle one, the house email that I got was average sales price was $811,500 in February. That's average square foot was 301, and then average sale to list ratio was 96.9%. So still a little bit of a discount.
There's a lot of multi-unit properties being built in Meridian. Aren't there?
You guys have a much higher density than Eagle does. Your density is 6 homes per acre, and ours is
like 1 point something.
It's like just about 1 house per acre.
But we're allowed up to 3 or something like that, right?
Comp. No, I don't think the comp plan allows for 3 homes per acre. Obviously, each
I know there's low density areas in Eagle too.
Right, which along Floating Feather, Beacon Light, and Homer, those are going to be
5 acres or
lower
more.
density. Yeah, because people who have 5 acre properties and 2.5 acre properties and 1 acre properties don't want a subdivision moving in that's 10 homes per acre or apartments. It just changes the whole feel of the area. So you gotta keep that stuff. It sounds bad, sort of not on the outskirts, but near the highways, and it makes more sense because if you've got if you've got 300 apartments, which there's the Cara or the Clara on 44 at Linder,
Oh yeah.
300 apartments in there, you figure that's 1,200 people, right? All those trips, I think they say 10 trips per family or per person per day. So you're looking at thousands of trips out of there. If that's behind a subdivision and those people start going through the subdivision and stuff like that, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So at least the way that Eagle does it, they try and keep that stuff on the edges or at the highways so that it doesn't affect the majority of the people as badly all the time.
When they put those apartments in, I felt bad for those homes that backed up to that area, though.
Yeah, and that was, I believe, that was from the previous administration.
Is that considered Eagle over there?
Mm-hmm.
It is all the way up to Chinden.
Okay.
So Fred Meyer and all that, all those places, those are actually in.
And those apartments are like almost, well, with the roof line, about 3 stories tall. And they're probably 25 feet off the fence line.
Yeah, the limit in Eagle is 35 feet.
Yeah.
If the previous administration gave them a variance, they could have done above that. But the comp plan says 35 feet.
35, yeah.
And generally, with the homes,
I've never measured it. I just eyeballed it, you know.
Right. Well, pretty close, I'm sure.
Yeah.
In Eagle, most of the homes that have been built in the last few years have higher ceilings. So 35 feet is really just slightly higher than a 2-story house here.
Yeah.
You know, because like the RTL homes, the models that I'm sitting in, we have 10-foot ceilings, 11 feet in the trays. So you have the coffered ceilings. In the middle of your ceiling, it bumps up a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's another foot. So 11 feet. So if you have 2 stories, you're looking at 22 feet without even giving room for the joists for the floor upstairs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at 25
and then you have a roof line. Pitches.
Then you have a roof at another foot or whatever. Yeah, so.
I mean, you can block the sun on people.
Let's see. Did have.
Going back to the car.
These RTL homes are really nice. I don't know if you guys have stopped by it.
We have some good weather this weekend. I'll come by and take a look.
You should. I'll be there all weekend. Actually, Sunday I'll be at my listing on D. Marini.
Oh, good. Gotcha.
Where are they building?
This is in Sunfield Estates in Star. There's 27 total lots there. There's a couple of different groups selling them. We have 11 of those lots, I believe, and we've got 5 that are built, 3 that are staged. 2 Newports, which are 2,310 square feet. A Thomas, which is 2,929 square feet, and then a Lindsay. We have another Lindsay that's almost done, and those are about 3,500 at 26 square feet. So a nice range. They're beautiful homes. Even the spec finishes are all very high end. I was trying to bring up some photos. See if they show. These are all exterior photos. You can check my Instagram for a bunch of different interior photos of my reels. They're so nice that every day I'm in there, I take some film and stuff. So.
Do the lots vary in size over there, or are they all pretty much?
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're just being built now, so they're 0.20 acre.
Yeah.
So they're not enormous, but they're really good. A lot of them are 3 bedrooms. So the Newport and the Thomas are both 3 bedrooms. So they're perfect for retired people or small families. Yeah. Retired people probably don't want to be. Most retired people, at least, don't want to be out there mowing lawn for 2 hours a week and all that. So they actually work out really well.
Sure. Keep it low maintenance.
Yeah. Let's see. So here's the models. This is the one. No, this is a Newport. These aren't all.
And this is. I mean, if you're coming from, like, let's say California, I mean, this probably is going to feel still pretty big.
Yeah, I mean that would be so 0.20 is like an 8,000 foot lot.
And I came
So,
from 5,000. So
yeah, my lot was 5,000 feet or something in California. And then we've got them at the estates at West Highlands and Middleton as well. We just listed we just listed our first one. So
cool.
Anyway, yeah. So what else is up, man? Let's see. Eagle. I always like looking at Eagle. Let's look at some filters here. Let's put the price. I like to look at luxury stuff. Let's bump the price up to $1 million.
You like the Robin Leach, the old Robin Leach show.
Robin Leach, yes. Lifestyles of the rich.
The rich and famous.
There's a development they're building on a Linder, kind of stayed in Linder, I think. It's right off the creek there.
Is it like more towards like hatchery? Or is it more towards...
right across from the Mormon temple?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's going to be. I think they're acre lots.
I believe so.
Or
yeah.
more.
And how many are they putting in?
They couldn't be putting in more than 6 or 7, or maybe even 8 homes. I don't know.
Well, that's cool because those homes off of Temple, right across from the Temple on Temple Street or Temple Road, the homes back there are gorgeous.
Yeah, kind of get lost back there.
Mm-hmm.
But like they have one that looks like there's a basement going in, and some steel on the left hand side.
Sorry, I know what you're talking about.
On the opposite side of
the metal
frame
in there. I don't know
just
what that metal frame is.
Yeah, they start at 2.8 million.
Yeah, I asked him to put an elevator in for me, so that's probably it.
Yeah,
they're starting at 2.8.
That's what the sign says. Yep.
Wow.
Let's see.
Acre lots.
Some
probably
beautiful homes, just over $1 million. This one's pretty incredible. 11,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm. I could see my daughter on prom, all pretty in her dress.
Totally. Look at that kitchen.
Taking photos.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Look at that mudroom's huge. Everybody gets their own locker. Just something else for the kids to fight about. You put your jacket in my locker.
Or the shoes just not going in baskets and stuff. That's always fun.
Oh, there you go.
I like the pool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but 11,000 square feet, that is an enormous home.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Who's in
I
it?
tried to set this up so that my listing would come right up, but why does this come up? This is Star. I have Eagle.
Straddling.
Weird. Here's my listing. Yeah. So I'll be there. 995D Marine. I'll be there Sunday, 11 to 3. Come check it out. It's a gorgeous house.
Mm-hmm.
It's right on the lake.
Yeah.
Big water feature. Super, super nice.
It's very nice.
I know I always spend a little time there. Very nice on my listings, but it's my show. Do what I want.
I'm just here to entertain you.
Yeah, and you do.
I can't do the dance though. I promise you that.
That'd be great if you stood up.
That's pretty. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you could probably do that, Shaun.
I'd probably take. I mean, with enough White Claws, I could probably do a lot of things.
Yeah. I imagine that's probably true for most people.
I feel 35
I grew up with Dan. I know he can do it.
Yeah, we don't need to
Tear
talk
calf.
about that. That's ancient history.
I could see Dan doing the worm, at the
I used to do the worm at parties. My goodness, how embarrassing is that?
Jen's so embarrassed back in high school. So embarrassed.
All right, we talked about that. Man, hit us with the most recent news on the rates.
Well, I think we're going to war. Oh, do you not serious stuff? Or
Okay.
so I talked to a buddy, and his daughter's getting ready for deployment in the Navy. I wonder where they're going.
I don't know.
I don't know, but war's pretty good for interest rates. I'm just saying.
But didn't the interest rates go down, Sean, with the collapse of the banks?
Yeah, but here's the thing. And what I noticed personally was the bond market improved, right? And usually when the bond market improves, we see that related to rates and pricing improving, right? But with the amount of improvement in the charts in the bond market, you would imagine that the improvement in the rate would be more significant than what it is. It's almost like everyone's kind of hedging against something coming further down the road or what's the next shoe to drop, and they're kind of waiting and kind of holding back. Personally, that's what it feels like, because I was surprised one morning when I woke up and I was like, well, shoot, like we got to be at least a quarter better on rate from the jump, right? From opening bell. And I saw very little movement in all the pricing, not just one lender, one bank. I mean, I went through 4 or 5 different banks, and it just didn't seem like there was much give in the morning. And then of late, it seems like we've had great starts and we pull back in the afternoon. So you kind of get you get good pricing in the morning, then you get some negative repricing later in the day. And it's just been kind of all over the place. But I still don't think the whole banking thing. I think Deutsche Bank is now in the news today.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
it does make you wonder how much of this stuff is being orchestrated just to push us into this digital
currency. I didn't say it, but yeah, I mean, I feel like there's more. There's definitely more out there, and we'll figure it out now that everyone seems to be wanting to investigate or to dig deeper into how banks are set up, right? But I mean, they want to build, they want it, like, even when Powell's talking, he wants to give, like, security, and like your deposits are covered and the banks are secure and there's nothing, nothing's going to happen, of course, because no one wants a bank run, right? So, well, you invest in something that has horrible duration, right? Like the 2% coupon, and you have a whole bunch of them, and now it's not worth anything. I mean, you got to get exposed. So unrealized losses, and that's part of the Dodd-Frank Act. I mean, there's so much to it, you couldn't go through it. And now regulators are getting into one thing to put out this fire, but in the meantime, there's a fire behind their back starting, and they have no clue. So I just kind of hold my breath, take it day by day, right? But it's been.
What I do is I just try not to put more than $250,000 in any one given account, right? Because I want to make sure that it's insured, just in case.
Sure. And I mean, there's a case to even raise that, right? But when
I think that's a pretty old number.
Like for the SVB bank, what was it? 93% of all deposits were over that 250, and we're paying back everyone. Like, cool. And it's not taxpayer money. I feel like somehow we're paying for it, right? Nothing's usually for free. Someone's going to be the hook for it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. There's no free lunch.
Whether that's me paying more increases in banking fees at my own bank because of it, or whatever, we're still going to be paying for it in some manner.
So I just asked ChatGPT how long we've been insuring for. The FDIC has been insuring for $250,000.
It's quite a while.
What's that?
It's quite a ways, or a few many years.
2008, it went from $100,000 to $250,000. In the very beginning, it was $2,500 per depositor, and increased to $5,000 in 1934. So it started in 1933, $2,500. Now we're 10 times that, and started in 2013. But with inflation, it sure seems like it should be $500,000.
I mean, you could argue it for sure.
But to Sean's point, I mean, it seems like it would be taxpayer money. Who's paying for the insurance? Where's that money coming from?
No, I think that they have insurance companies. There's an insurance company that sits on.
Yeah, but who's paying for the premium?
All the banks buy an insurance policy, just like we have homeowners policies.
And I saw some crazy stat where, like, the FDIC only has so much money to insure, right? And then if they're going to insure all deposits, well, then you go to take the deposits, and it's like over like $3 trillion, and there's a there's a vast divide between the two. So what do they do if that ever happened? What would they do?
So
Raise it,
this is interesting, and this is
cause
something that
inflation? You know, I don't know.
most people have probably never even thought about, including
Mhm.
myself. I realize that the FDIC exists. I realize it insures my money up to $250,000 because every bank that you go to,
Yeah, it's on their little.
there's a little plaque on the front that tells you that. But the question that we had was, who funds that? Where's that money come from? It's an insurance corporation. I'm sorry, is funded primarily by insurance premiums paid by banks and other depository institutions. The FDIC does not receive any taxpayer funds, although it does have a line of credit with the U.S. Treasury that it can draw upon in the event of emergency.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
backstop.
So there's somebody that's like you, Dan. They're an insurance guy, but that's their lines are banks to, policies to banks that tap into or work with the FDIC. Who knows what that costs?
Yeah, I've never bothered to even look into that at all. You just
And
kind of
it makes me wonder: is
put
it
your money in the bank and just go about your
right?
business.
Right. But it makes you wonder: like, are those insurance policies based on per 100 million, per billion, per depositor? Like, how does that work? I don't know.
Go to YouTube and pull up South Park 2008. Um, he deposits
So
check.
just so it
Deposits
said,
check. Yeah.
I was looking up songs that were on that list.
Uh,
I was
I
gonna,
think you were looking at Baby Shark,
yeah.
but
Well, I've heard Baby Shark, do 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 do. I never just heard that.
oh no.
I never heard of Johnny Yes Papa. So I was gonna play that on our way out. But I'll look for what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
So South Park 2008, and then bank deposit check, and then it should pop up. But it's only like 2 minutes long. But it's like filmed in 2008, right? Created in 2008, and it's like, yeah, right here
This
with
one, the
with
first one.
the
Oh,
bank.
and it's gone. That one.
Yeah, and it's gone.
And gone. And
We're
he's
gonna
like, what?
we're gonna reinvest the proceeds into the
Right.
foreign
There you
national
go.
bank currencies. Yeah,
Hear it?
and it's gone. Right here. I don't hear it,
Seriously.
but if we don't get it to play, it's on my Facebook page. You need to say it. It's accurate and it's kind of sad, but funny. And he goes and gives him his check, $100 check, and they want him to invest it, put it in the bank because it's safe.
Can you hear it, Dan?
Can't hear it at all.
And he's been putting it in.
Money market mutual fund.
Yeah, money market fund, and then
Yeah. So what he's
Foreign
doing is
currencies.
he's talking about how the bank invests the money. He's doing it instantly right in front of him.
yeah,
Obviously,
before he
and
even
then he
deposits
goes,
the check.
and it's gone. And he goes, what do you mean it's gone? It's only $100. He goes, what?
Yeah, it's gone.
Compounding interest. Let's see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he doesn't want to talk to him anymore because he doesn't have any money at the bank. And then grandma
Oh, that's
comes
right.
over.
We only talk to customers, is what he
Yeah,
says.
we only talk to customers that have deposits with the bank.
All right.
It's sick.
Oh, man.
It's sick,
Wonder
man.
how it is. Anyway,
Stuff that gives you nightmares.
so I know, right? Like that's
Like, what about
happened.
your 401k? Like, you log on and you go, that looks nice, but is it really there?
Yeah, and it's
I don't
not
know.
really.
I mean,
It's all just line items on spreadsheets and systems, right?
and a balance.
Yeah, that's it's scary. It's scary. Although so is Bank of Mattress. That's scary to me too, right?
Yeah.
You bring all your cash home. It's not earning any interest, although it barely is anyway.
Yeah.
But and it's sitting in a mattress. Man, who heard the story about the grandma who'd been putting, or the mom who'd been putting money literally in her mattress for 40 years or something, and she died, and they took all the stuff to the dump. They took the bed to the dump.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that have gold coins and stuff just laying around their house. It's weird.
Yeah.
I met with a old lady years ago. I went out to her house to help her with her insurance, and we were talking about it. She wanted to pay the premium to get a new policy set up, and she tells me, "Okay, hang on." She goes back to her room, wherever it was, comes out with a shoebox that was just full of money, and it was all of her savings. Every penny that she had was in the shoebox. I ended up talking to her.
What if she had a fire? What if someone robbed her?
Yeah, it would have been all gone. But she was, I mean, she went through the Great Recession in the 20s.
Right.
And so she just didn't believe in banking and
Yeah.
kept it all herself.
You'd be surprised how many people come across it, like literally, they get their checks and they cash it and they only deposit whatever it is for their bills. So like for their cell phone or whatever that they pay electronically, that's it. So they carry like $0 in their checking account and everything's, but they want to go buy a house. And then I'm like, well, you got cash sitting around. Like, how do we source it, right? So that's the issue when it comes to that. It does happen.
We always see it's kind of a joke in realtor circles, but and you guys probably see it too, lenders or at least title people. Where people will say, okay, well, we need proof of funds to be able to see that, to be able to go see that house, or, you know, when you're first starting to talk to someone, okay, well, tell me about your finances, like, so we know what kind of money they have. And they'll show you a picture of like all this money spread out on their bed or something. You're like, okay, I mean, that's awesome. You need to take that to a bank, because for anybody to give you a loan, they're going to need to see that.
It's like, so you're friends with Floyd Mayweather. Who cares? Like,
well, if you can pay for the whole thing cash,
yeah.
I would imagine that most title companies. We'll have to ask Melissa. We'll get Melissa Johnson on here, my title gal. We'll ask her if she's ever seen that and whether or not they can accept briefcases of cash. You know what I mean?
Well, I know, like for life insurance, right? I sell life insurance as well. I have to go through anti-money laundering courses periodically, and you know, having
every
someone
year
come in with a bunch of cash, you know, that's a red flag. So
every year, and you got to report it. And you go on a SARS report. I got to go file a suspicious report, right? Activity report on you.
Right. And what's the number now? I'd always heard it was 10,000. So what?
Well, that's the federal number that gets reported, right? Anything more than $10,000, right? So.
Yeah, we were having our backyard done, and I had. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. Never mind.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't.
Anyway, to pay, I pulled out $9,000 in cash because, I mean, $9,000. I didn't pull out $10,000. I was afraid that, am I going to get caught up in some money laundering thing or something? Like, you know, I don't. Obviously, I'm not involved in money laundering, but are they going to think I am because I grabbed $10,000? So.
Yeah. No.
I just needed to go down to buy some bricks and some grass and stuff at the Home Depot. I just wanted to pick that.
Which makes sense to me. Like, if you can get a cash discount, pay the cash.
Right. Yeah. Cash is king, right? So anyway, all right, guys. I know you've been with me for a while, so yeah. I won't keep you any longer. I got to get to the model. Try and sell some houses today.
You mean Jen?
What?
You're going to do some modeling?
Yes,
Jen, right?
My model wife. Yes.
Yeah.
I also have to go sit at the home builder's model.
Make sure you replay this part for Jen. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
That's why we have our showpiece wives, right?
That's right. That's right.
Get them all dressed up and let them do the FaceTime for us.
And they make us look good. That's
completely.
Not me. You guys are good-looking guys. All I've got is the mustache. So. All right, guys. Good chatting with you.
Good seeing you.
All right, have a great weekend.
All right, bye.
I love the memes.